way. And I wrote the novel, Ostrich Boys. It's an idea I've had buzzing around for quite a while, and the book took me 3 years to write, actually, and it was published in 2008. So it's fantastic that it's got such a long lifespan and that the play is happening now, sort of 8 years later. But I always wanted to write about friendship between young men, and talk about ordinary young men that maybe have a little bit of extraordinary inside, and that extraordinary is brought out of them not because they have superpowers or not because they're fighting vampires, but because they're best friends. When I was writing the book, it was trying to pin down how I was going to tell the story, the different sort of the unravelling of what really happened to Ross and how he really died. And it seemed like a good idea to take them on a road trip so that they were travelling physically and emotionally and spiritually all at the same time. And that was the idea of the road trip. The characters, a couple of the characters are based on people I know. I'm not going to reveal real names just in case. And the actual journey that the boys go on, after I'd come up with the idea, I didn't know how feasible it was to do it in a day. They do it in a day and a bit. And so I actually went on that journey myself, taking notes of what the stations looked like and how difficult that trip was. And the big bungee jump segment in the middle, I decided I needed to do a bungee jump so that I could write about it. So bits and bobs are sort of from experience as well as I needed the story. The play just blew me away. The play was just amazing. Yes, it's different to the book, but of course it's going to be very different to the book. But what was amazing was that I wrote the book from my point of view. I could only write the book as me. But what's been brought to the play is the playwright, Cal Miller, and the director, Tony Graham, and of course the 4 actors, and they've all had input. And so there's bits in the play that they've found extra layers on, if that makes sense, that I was able to write this and this, but because all these other points of view have come in, they've been able to dig a bit deeper, and that's been really eye-opening for me in that way. Ross's death and the circumstances around Ross's death, that was why I wanted to write the book. I wanted to tackle loss. You know, it's like if they were best friends all the way through, you wouldn't have a great story. So throw the biggest problem at this friendship you possibly can, it's going to be a death. And it's going to be a death that perhaps they know more about than they're admitting. So yeah, the everything that happens around the death of Ross was right there at the beginning for me, and it was trying to fool the reader into not knowing themselves as they an onion, unwrapping the layers of the onion of the story for the readers, so they could feel as though they were discovering things for themselves at the same pace that the boys were. And I think that's what comes across really, really well in the play, is that we discover things as the audience at the same moments that the characters themselves are discovering things. It hits all those beats, and that's just really clever.